Welcome to another video on gravel cycling and gravel bicycles. Today we are gonna talk about whether gravel bicycles can replace and to what extent mountain bike. The question is particularly interesting if you're planning to get into gravel cycling from mountain biking. So I've tested the Seigla on different types of single tracks, some of them quite technical, to the point that I have encountered some difficulties riding the bike. Now, if you like the content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So, how wild can your ride with a gravel bike be? The answer will depend also on whether you come from road bike or mountain bike, what type of rides you're gonna do, and of course what your expectations are. As a disclosure, I am running this test with a Lauf Seigla with a suspension fork. This bike is mounting a 40 chain ring and a 1044 cassette. So now I'm gonna do a trail that I did on the rigid Lauf Seigla, and I had in the previous video that you can find on my channel. And let's see how does the suspension version performs on this trail. This is a trail I normally only did on my hardtail mountain bike, so I had no specific problem doing it on the rigid version. However, my wrists were in pain at the end of the day. So at the end of the trail, the bike felt absolutely stable, great compliance. I'm really happy. It felt definitely better and way more comfortable on my wrist. I enjoy it way more than I did on my mountain bike in the past. So yeah, I mean, definitely a thumb up. While I had no issues riding the bike on most single tracks, obviously I found many difficulties riding the bike on uphill with loose, large rocks. If the level of difficulty is too high, you'd probably miss having a specific mountain bike. Okay, here, time to descend. let's go and try a really hard uphill single trail on rugged terrain. Not bad. For your information, I'm on the last gear and I am unclipped. So I brought the bike up to a average gradient between 5 and 10%, really rugged terrain. It's really difficult, it's really rugged here. Normally it is a single track that is used by downhill mountain bikes or hardtail mountain bikers who obviously want to have some personal challenge or something. It is very dry. It has a lot of big rocks, big roots, big slippery rocky surfaces and sudden gradient changes that may as well knock you off the bike. I think these are the limits with this bike. The bike was very hard to push up. It is, you know, something you probably would not want to do. Maybe the situation would have been a bit different if I had flat pedals, because I have standard Shimano SPD pedals that get clipped very easily, and so although I'm trying to keep my main foot unclipped just so I can put it down if if I lose balance, which is so easy here, it gets clipped in automatically almost as soon as I keep pedaling, and so it's kind of annoying. On the other hand, if you had a flat pedal system, it could be possible. Granted, I will probably have some kind of knee protection or something, but that's not my style of riding. Do I have to go up here with this bike? No, not really, because there is a much easier trail going another way. As you can see, there are trails here. We're talking about how much technical difficulty is too much for this bike, and so I think this is it. I will now try descending. I expect it to be easier, though not less risky, but yeah, I mean, climbing up such a place with this bike, it's a big no. You know, let's see how it behaves descending. Now we can see the same steep single track on super rugged terrain. It's easier coming down, obviously, as I don't have to pedal, but yeah, I mean, I don't have a dropper seat post, but yeah, it's not nice, really. This is something for a downhill mountain bike. So it's been nice testing this for you, but yeah. Can I do it? Sure. Well, can I? Okay, you see it's super rugged terrain. Here we are at the end. So the essence of this question, can a gravel bike, even one with a front suspension, can it replace a mountain bike? The short answer is no. But again, it goes to the bottom of why do you want to get a gravel bike in first place? There are probably I guess a 10%, maybe 5 of my local trails where I used to ride my mountain bike that I cannot do with this gravel bike. I have tried and it's too difficult. It will be, of course, that percentage trails that I cannot do with a gravel bike much more if I had a fully rigid gravel bicycle. And in the case of the Lauf Seigla suspension version I'm riding, I found that while the fork does a great job in absorbing some of the shocks from the terrain, it is not replacing the capability of bouncing over rocks and roots and such, and taking jumps, obviously, as a mountain bike would, obviously. If you're interested in climbing and especially descending on the bicycle I'm riding, the Lauf Seigla, I invite you to watch another video I have specifically on that. There are many gravel cyclists around here who do not really go into anything that is too technical, so keep that in mind. In that case, of course, the expectations are different. In my case, I mean, wanting to replace a mountain bike with something that I would enjoy more. So yeah, in my case it was a very good decision, but to also have a suspension system on my gravel bicycle. You can watch a comparison I did of the bicycle I'm riding, comparison between the rigid and the suspension. You can click here. I am happy, but there is, you know, as I said, that 10%. It could be more or less depending on your on where you ride. There is that 10% that is now precluded with this bicycle. Do I care? Not really, because I'm having fun, and you know, it's not that you absolutely cannot ride super technical terrain, but you need, well, you need to take a higher risk of crashing, which, you know, nobody likes, but yeah. And you also need probably to switch from clip-in pedals to flat pedals, and maybe having a dropper post. Then yes, you could take some of those super technical or very technical terrains. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and see you on the trails.